On Friday the 4th of October 1991, in Peterborough Cathedral, in the presence of Bishop Westwood, Lord Bishop of Peterborough, and a visitor to the school, the King's School celebrated the 450th anniversary of its foundation by King Henry VIII in 1541. The year of celebration had started much earlier. In February, the school was honoured with a visit by Her Royal Highness the Princess of Wales. The Princess was greeted with a fanfare from the top of the clock tower and was met by the headmaster, Mr. Michael Barcroft, and by the Very Reverend Randolph Wise, Dean of Peterborough Cathedral and Chairman of the Governors of the King's School. Despite a very busy schedule, Her Royal Highness took time to chat with students about their work. Then she was treated to a display of song and dance. Both staff and students alike were impressed with the very genuine interest that the Princess showed in what she saw. After seeing an example of the work of the King's School Video Film Unit and chatting with the crew, the Princess met sixth form students and some of the old people with whom they work during their community service. In the art block, Alistair Todd presented Her Royal Highness with a painting. In the afternoon, Her Royal Highness left us for further engagements in London. But even then, she made the time to have a final word with some of the pupils.
Yeah.
Sorry. Thanks.
It had been a memorable occasion which had delighted everybody at the school. By chance, a film of the King's School Sports Day in 1923 had recently been discovered in the back of an old cupboard. It's nice to see that the forerunners of the video film unit were operating some 60 years ago. The school was much smaller in those days, and there was room on the ground behind the school for the athletics competitions. These included high jump, here being won by a very proud Kay Crick from Class 3. Not only has costume changed since those days, the layout of the school has undergone considerable modification as well. Yards have become metres. Such events as the obstacle race and sack race were popular. But we can see that apart from the size of the conker trees, Huntley Grove has changed little. Today, the annual sports day is held on the Ken Wheeler Sports Field in Garton End Road with the new pavilion. The whole school of some 780 pupils assembles for this event, most to take part and some just to watch and cheer on their house.
Who might?
Who might?
Camera's all right. 25.25.
The sixth form relay race for boys and for girls traditionally marks the end of Sports Day. Recently though, novelty races have been introduced where the staff can show off their skill, or lack of it, and the sack race makes a welcome return.
It's entirely thanks to you that it has been such a successful and competitive afternoon.
So well done everybody for an excellent afternoon. The first presentation is to be made to the Victrix Ludorum, which is the best senior athlete girl throughout the afternoon, and this is shared this year between two ladies, that's Emma Rayner and Anna Lill. Senior Boys Award, the Victor Ludorum, this year goes to James Warren. Right, the big one, you've all been waiting for this one. The Samworth Cockhouse Trophy for the winning house over all the year's events. In fourth position with 467 points, Peters. In third position with 476 points, Oswald. In second position with 484 points, Scola. And the winning house with 518 points, Chad. Chad's house captain, would like to come up, please.
End of June comes the annual Leavers Service, where the school says goodbye to the 5th and 6th formers who are leaving to go on to further study or to employment. This year, the choir, directed by Mr. Nicholas Kerrison, sang the Parry anthem, I Was Glad, possibly reflected in the thoughts of some of those who were leaving. One hopes, however, that this excitement is tinged with more poignant feelings at leaving the school which has seen them through the past 5 to 7 years. Was given by Hugh Bishop, head of RE, who was due to take up a new post in Wolverhampton the following September.
that magnificent anthem, a moment or two ago, reminded me of some feelings that I had when I first came here almost 6 years ago. Sat in this cathedral, I suddenly became aware of what it meant to be a member of staff and therefore a member of the King's School. And just suddenly this morning, hearing those magnificent sounds, that feeling came back again. And I must be honest, certain regrets as well.
Gregory Marshall and Mosley Simon.
Then the headmaster distributes Bibles to those students who are leaving the school.
Sarah Peters, Judy Fong, Julie Raymond. Lastly, the head girl, Jo Green, the head boy, Michael Hall.
Finally, led by the headmaster, the leavers file out along the nave to the strains of Jerusalem. Many admit that for them, this is one of the most emotional moments of their school career. The hymn holds a special place in their hearts, and surely memories of this magnificent building will remain with them for many years to come. No, not sports day again, nor even a sports lesson. This is an international fixture between the King's School Peterborough and the Werner Jäger Gymnasium from Nettetal in Germany. The 450th year of the school marked coincidentally the 15th anniversary year of the exchange between the King's School and the Werner Jäger Gymnasium. Herr Wolfgang Henschel, seen here with English and German colleagues, did much of the work to set up the exchange and has supported it unfailingly ever since. To mark the 15th anniversary, some 200 German students, accompanied by staff, visited the King's School for a weekend on the 12th of June 1991. During Saturday, they rehearsed a concert, drama performances and played sports fixtures.
Yep.
In the evening, they perform sketches and plays in English and German.
Hold up your hands. This is stick up. Stick up your hands. This is a hold up. I must get that right. Hands up. This is a stick up. Give me your money. Hands up. This is a stick up. Give me your money. Hands up. This is a stick up. Give me your money. Hands up. This is a stick up. Give me your money. Oh, yes. That's it. Hold hands. This is upstick.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Oh, I'm terribly well, and you?
Oh, I'm terribly well as well.
I see you cannot be fit.
Oh, I'm feeling pretty fit actually. Isn't it extraordinary us sort of bumping into each other like this?
Except here of all places.
Here of all places. I mean, we haven't seen each other.
One moment.
Wait a moment.
We have not
Have
seen each
not seen each
other before.
That's right.
Come in. But why are you here? Why aren't you at school? We're on holiday. Is it summer again so soon? Yes, we can come here every day, Merlin, and visit you. How often? Well, every second day. Come on, Merlin. You've got something for me. What is it? Is it this? How is Dr. K? He's all right. Be quiet and sit down. Come on, Merlin. It's important.
Im Ernst, sagt sie, haben Sie das gehört? Im Ernst. Also lass mich nicht Wochenbar weg. Sagt, liebe Freunde haben eine Art zu scherzen. Andere Kreise, andere Witze, sage ich immer. Es fehlt jetzt nur noch, dass Sie mich um Streichhölzchen bitten.
On the Sunday, their orchestra performed a concert for the school, parents and friends. Following the cathedral service on Friday the 4th of October, the main day of the celebration, the guests, including Peterborough's MP, Dr. Brian McWhinney, were invited to a civic luncheon at Peterborough's Town Hall. They were met by His Worship the Mayor and the Headmaster, Mr. Michael Barclough. Meanwhile, in the banquet hall, lunch was being prepared. A special bottled champagne had been purchased for the occasion by the Old Peterboroughians Association. In the school hall, artifacts to be sealed in a time capsule were on display. They consisted of a number of items connected with the school and some of a more general nature. Here is Emma Coles in her uniform on her first day at the King's School. And here's a letter of congratulation from Dr. Brian McWhinney.
Ceremonies this afternoon at the school. There are three: the unveiling of the foundation stone to the new technology block. We can't actually put it in position because it would be in the middle of the tennis court, and we still want to use the tennis court until the foundations are in fact laid early in the new year. The filling of a time capsule, about which you'll hear some more, and the reinstitution of the King's Scholars. So
For all of those reasons, thank you for inviting me, thank you for inviting Betty. And it gives me now very great pleasure to unveil this stone. And I look forward to walking through the new block in the not too distant future.
Mayor. We thought it would be interesting and appropriate for a time capsule to be filled with original and topical material representative of the King's School, the community and the individuals present on this occasion. It will then be embedded in the wall of the new technology block and preserved for posterity. It's interesting to note that in the 1950s, the time capsule was embedded in the foundation of Baker Perkins Apprentices School, so we are surely following a Peterborough Young Technologist tradition. We are delighted that His Worship the Mayor is going to fill it and seal it for us, and wish him luck.
Next item is a letter from Sir Thomas Armstrong, distinguished musician and former pupil, the truly oldest old boy, now 92. In his letter he writes that old age has prevented his attendance, but I should love to be at the service in the cathedral where I made so much music in the past. I hope you have a happy and memorable day, and I send my best wishes to the school.
Older, even than Sir Thomas, is a piece of wood from the Bronze Age settlement at Flag Fen, given by the History Department to mark the Wolfson History Award they won for the work on the site. No time capsule would be complete without a textbook. On time-honored tradition, John Dexter, the head of classics, has presented the shorter Latin primer. Its title, I fear, has become typically defaced down the years, and now reads the shortbread eating primer.
Last Dean, the very Reverend Winfield Digby, wrote recently to the headmaster. With regard to the time capsule, please ensure that the demise of communism is suitably encapsulated and sealed up in the cylinder. It is the most important event of this summer and of our lifetime. So it's wholly appropriate that a piece of the Berlin Wall should be included. This is given by Mr. Elliott, who has led 3 school parties to Berlin in the last 2 years.
Sir John Archer has given the badge of rank he wore in his last appointment as Commander-in-Chief of the United Kingdom Land Forces, 1978-80, a record of a distinction of which the school is very proud.
Catherine, on behalf of the Cathedral Foundation and the governors of the King's School, I admit you to be a King's Scholar.
The Dean, the Very Reverend Randolph Wise, invested the first of the new generation of the King's Scholars. These sixth form students will work in association with local commerce and industry during their A-level course.
On behalf of the Cathedral Foundation and the governors of the King's School, I admit you to be a King's Scholar. Rena, on behalf of the Cathedral Foundation and the governors of the King's School, I admit you to be a King's Scholar. Dr. has already made clear the value connection between old disciplines and new disciplines of study, and it's very good that commercial and industrial companies in the city have made this possible this afternoon. The link between those commercial and industrial companies is very important, both in human terms and in terms of support for the school. So may I express to any representatives of those companies who are here present our very great appreciation, and I hope that this kind of bond will continue long into the future. Thank you very much.
In the evening of the 4th of October, there was a celebration dinner organised and attended by the Old Petroburgians Association of the King's School.
How are you?
I'm very well indeed.
Mr. Charles Sturton, Peterborough's oldest old boy, was one of the guests of honour. headmaster and Mrs. Barcroft were joined by other guests, including Ken Wheeler, a former deputy head, Trevor Elliott, the present deputy head, Trevor King, Peter Boiseau, and
Majesty King Henry VIII. Would you give a big hand?
King Henry joined the rest of the honoured guests on the top table, and the banquet at the Peterborough Moat House Hotel began.
More of him later. When the king has got to his seat, he will, of course.
In the bar, various commemorative articles were on sale, including the specially commissioned glassware engraved with the school emblem. The banquet was attended by large numbers of present and former students, staff and former colleagues.
The Queen.
The Queen.
And before you sit down, we'll go back 14 generations and the 500th anniversary, not 450, 500th anniversary of our founder, King Henry VIII. Our founder.
King Henry VIII.
Betty and I are delighted to be here, though I have to say, Chairman, that I admire your fortitude more than your judgment. To invite a Member of Parliament to address the King's School once a year seems to me to be perhaps appropriate. To invite him to do it twice is bordering on the excessive. To invite him to do it 4 times in 2 weeks seems plain madness.
After the speeches, the guests were entertained by present and former pupils. King Henry VIII made another appearance in the form of an animated puppet constructed by David Eldridge as his A-level technology project.
Don't worry, this won't take long.
She was missing when he found her.
Well, of course, the school's changed so much over the last 450 years, and it does make you wonder, doesn't it, what the staff used to banter about way back in the 16th century.
Well, I can only imagine it was something like this.
You know the second son of the Earl of Boiseau?
Yes. What's that little rapscallion been up to now?
You know he's been selling pizzas in the dormitories.
Good God. He'll come to no good, not my word.
Yeah,
my word.
There was a further opportunity for the present staff to meet former colleagues at a buffet lunch in the school dining room the following morning.
To be going to doing something that they'll enjoy
And later that day, an evening of drama. Adam Allies had written his 15th junior play, The Donkey's Tale, to be performed at the school's Christmas production at Peterborough's Riverside Quay Theatre. Playwright Paul Ward had written a very moving play about Henry VIII's obsession with producing an heir. Helen Burton played Catherine of